Everyone, welcome to AuthAction channel. In this video I'm going to show how to integrate authentication in Nextjs application using AuthAction product. So I already created a sample application, so I open that application. In the quick start I see the Nextjs technology, and then I see there is a GitHub example and also documentation, and then there is already hosted demo app as well. So in the GitHub example, this is the Nextjs sample application, and also integrated how authentication is already integrated in this code, and then we can also configure locally and then check authentication works or not. So this application using this package called Nextauth, it's very famous in the Nextjs application developer circle. So we are going to in this sample application, this framework and this package is used to integrate this authentication. So Nextjs is like a server-side rendering, so we also need to use apart from regular single page application, we also need to use client secret in order to maintain the authentication in the backend as well. So I already cloned this repo. I did the npm install as well. Okay, so what I'm going to do, follow the steps and then integrate authentication. So we need to configure this client ID, client secret, tenant domain details in the environment file. If the environment file not exists, you can also create .env file. Here I need to configure the AuthAction specific environment variable. So if I go to the AuthAction dashboard and then go to the application, I copy the domain name and then I'm pasting it in the AuthAction domain, and also for the front end environment variable. So in Nextjs, this domain name also needed in the front end and also in the back end. That's why there is a two environment variable. One starts with the next underscore, so that means it's using in the front end. And then I need to configure client ID and client secret. So I'm copying the client ID and then pasting here, and then client secret. So this is server-side rendering, so some operations are happening in the back end. That's why this client secret is needed. But general single page application like React and Angular, you don't need a client secret for the front-end authentication at all. Even it's a sample application, I can delete afterwards, so no issues. I configure the environment variable, and also for the next library need these two environment variable. Random secret, for demo purpose I'm using some random variable values here, and then the application starting at this port 3000 port. So that is the application Nextauth URL as well. So now I'm going to start the application. Before that I need to configure callback URL in the AuthAction. So this application I need to configure this URL as a callback URL. If I go to the application and then the allowed callback URL, it's not there, so I'm going to configure that one, and then I'm going to configure 3000 as a logout URI as well. So I'm done the saves, and then I can see why it's needed, because in the pages there is a API auth, inside that there is a Nextauth DS. So whatever comes after an API auth / callback or whatever it comes, it's handled by this Nextauth handler. So here it's configured what's a provider, and then what is a type, and then also OpenID configuration, endpoint URL, and then this all comes from the tenant domain, and then client ID, client secret, and then scope, and then it's following the proof key code exchange method, and then there are some code to persist some ID token and access token in the session. So Nextauth framework will take care of authentication, and also it maintain its own state after authenticating. So I'm going to now run the application using npm run dev, and then it will start the application, and going to access this application in the browser. the application is rendered, there is a login button here. So I'm going to click the login button, and then it will show hosted login page. So I think user is already logged in, that's why it's showing directly the dashboard. I can show logout and then perform the login again. So I'm going to now log in. This is the hosted login page, and it's only enabled with the login with GitHub action and Google, and also email password. So for example, I'm going to log in here. Okay, now it's redirected back to the our dashboard, and then I refresh multiple times till the user is in the logged in state. Yeah, and also I can directly go to the application. So user is already logged in, so it will redirect back to the dashboards. And then if the user is logged out, so it will go to the login page. Even I come from yeah, it shows the login page. In the code, how it's developed, this is the Nextjs provider, and then here I can see I already shown you this is how this provider is configured, and the front end using the same Nextjs package to maintain the user state and then retrieve the user details and so on. So yeah, so there is a login button, and then this all comes from the Nextjs React same package. Yeah, so it's very straightforward. You can use this Nextjs package. You can easily integrate authentication in your Nextjs application using AuthAction. So it's very straightforward. You just need to do some simple steps, and then you can maintain your application sessions, user sessions, and so on. Thanks. Happy coding.